Monday, June 19th, Juneteenth, federal holiday for many, but not for Emma Vigeland.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Or Matt Leck.
Or Matt Leck.
Or Bradley Alsop.
Or myself.
It's no problem.
Yeah. So Fun Day Monday.
Fun Day Monday. No school. Do we have mail delivery? I don't think we do, right? Federal holiday. And so on. This is a new holiday as of...
it seems the U.S.
2 years ago.
Postal Service office is not open today.
It's a new holiday as of this is the second year I think that we're celebrating it, or I guess maybe I think the first year was there a full
it was
celebration?
observed.
Okay.
It fell on a weekend, I believe, last year.
Okay.
So.
Well, Josh Hawley has something for us to keep in mind. Today is a good day to remember Christianity is the faith and America is the place slavery came to die. So
There you go.
So,
I mean,
after it flourished, it also died here. So we deserve credit for that part.
it also
We were
where
kinda
slavery
late.
came to die. I mean, we were one of the last countries to get rid of slavery.
Yes.
So I guess in that sense,
we did beat Brazil by a few decades, but
that's good.
We were behind like Britain, for instance.
yeah.
Yes.
That's an interesting construction where
Right.
slavery came to die. Also, you could say the same thing about like, I don't know, cancer when it takes the life of somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's just a weird construction. But nevertheless, it is Juneteenth. We're going to be talking to Amani Perry on it. It's interesting, the development of a new holiday, and interesting to think about, why we have it and what it hopefully will function to do. But let's hear, because we are all about hearing both sides of an argument. One is, should we celebrate the end of slavery in this country and or the ostensible end of slavery in this country, or is it an evil plot? Well, let's give some equal time to the evil plot side of the argument. I give you, ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Kirk, the would-be Rush Limbaugh.
Some of you will be listening to this episode as it airs on Juneteenth. The heck is Juneteenth? It depends who you ask.
Pause it for
but
1
let's
second. I guess he took it off. I guess he took today off. Weird, but okay.
That's funny. Also, like, maybe like schooling is good for something. We should like kids should know what Juneteenth is.
No, they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't. That sounds like critical race theory to me.
Some of you will be listening to this episode as it airs on Juneteenth. The heck is Juneteenth? It depends who you ask, okay? But let's talk about what it actually is. And we opposed Juneteenth becoming a federal holiday as it happened. And yes, it is the day that it is mandatory to work at Turning Point USA. We're going to talk about it actually on the day. I say we're given multiple days off for our actual Independence Day, July 4th, 1776. Why is Juneteenth a problem? Not because, again, it's so subversive. On its face value, I have no problem with it. I think it's wonderful to say, okay, liberation of slaves, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. The issue is that the entire point of it, as per postmodernists do and deconstructionists, is to subvert July 4th. That has always been the agenda. That there is a Black Independence Day and a National Independence Day, the same way that they have a black national anthem that plays before NFL games. That they have black-only dormitories and black-only math classes. It is a neo-segregationist federal holiday, is what it is. And they're so tricky, aren't they? Because they say, oh, Charlie, you against the emancipation of slaves? Of course we're not against that, because that's not what this is about. This is a summertime competitor to create multiple Independence Days to further deteriorate, erode, and destroy the celebration of our actual Independence Day. I tweeted this out in 2021. In 2021...
summertime competitor. Like it's like the XFL versus the NFL. They're coming for our football.
Hey, guys, I know we were going to barbecue on the 4th, but I'm sorry I did it in the middle of June, so don't want to do it today.
That was how segregation the first time was instituted, was they did their own, the white people, Jim Crowites, did their own holiday. And then what happens when you do your own holiday is naturally it creates its own gravity.
You know, I'll tell you something. We had I don't know where the fireworks were the other night for Flag Day. And I'm like,
This is subverting.
don't need July 4th.
I mean, isn't Hanukkah a wintertime competitor to Christmas?
I mean,
Are you trying to
sort of
subvert?
is.
Actually, Charlie will argue that too.
He would, and you know what? It's a good thing that it subverts Christmas a little. I'm glad that if we're trying to cut into the fanciful notion that July 4th was Independence Day with another holiday that recognizes that it wasn't actually Independence Day because there was slavery in this country, I'm all for undercutting our mythology about this country because it is exclusionary and it is just that, a myth.
Infantile. Like, again, like
Right.
Josh Hawley mentioning us getting rid of slavery. We did, like, in 1820, there's an essay from a Scottish guy saying America says they're so independent and freedom loving and they are all slave drivers.
Let's. Do we have any more of this? Let's keep playing. Yeah, because the interesting thing is we'll see how much it becomes about ideological. But I also have another theory that these type of attacks sort of force the interpretation of June 19th into a box that doesn't do the work that it should be doing.
One, I tweeted out, making Juneteenth a federal holiday isn't about emancipation of slaves. If it was, they would make September 22nd Emancipation Proclamation Day a federal holiday. This is about replacing July 4th, just like the 1619 Project is about replacing 1776. Conservatives must reject this. So yeah, I mean, if they want to make an Emancipation Day, just make September 22nd a federal holiday. But now we have a full week of Juneteenth festivities.
He would not support that either.
A full week.
I feel like he didn't.
We have a
work
whole
on
month
this
during
enough.
Pride Month, and at some point, you got to wonder, and the answer to the question is actually very simple. Why do these people need so much celebration? Why do these people need so many rituals? And the answer is super simple.
These people.
It's because they're not religious. Well, they're religious in their own way, but
Oh my God.
those of us that go to church, we're part of something. Those of us that, if you're an observant Jew, so if you
God
That's
made
it.
it. God kept him from finishing that statement.
Yes, thank you.
What's amazing is how convoluted his critique is here. Like, he would prefer this back in September. So he is literally talking about the close proximity to July 4th, undercuts July 4th. But if it was in September, it wouldn't undercut July 4th. So it's not so much an ideological thing as literally
Proximity.
It literally, like, it's not a summer thing. But of course, a lot of kids still in school now, not in July, which he's not contemplating that. And then he's sort of like roping it into Pride Month and saying the real problem is that people aren't religious enough. Like, as if like, rates of religion amongst black people relatively high in this country. It's unclear to me. Like, it's so convoluted here what he's talking about. Why do religious people have to celebrate the 4th? Wouldn't that keep them from celebrating the 4th? If under his theory, it's
But what he needs to say is, like, we actually are the authors of history and black people are doing it wrong.
Right.
exactly.
The subtext of everything he's saying is that I don't want another reminder for the general public that we enslaved a certain segment of the population, and no one's precluding precluding you from also recognizing it and taking Juneteenth to have these kinds of conversations. It's not exclusionary in the way he describes, but it is when you have a reactionary mind.
I think one of the things, and I think this is worth actually talking to Amani Perry about, despite the fact that I'm hesitant to mention the words Charlie Kirk in front of her. There is a reason why Juneteenth is celebrated as opposed to the Emancipation Proclamation Day, and that is because slaves were not freed when the Emancipation Proclamation was announced. In fact, the relationship of black people to white people was not cured on Juneteenth either, for that matter. And I do think that the real issue they have with Juneteenth is that it makes it clear that the United States never achieved the aspirational or supposed things that we set out to do supposedly in that regard. And we'll talk more about it with Amani Perry in a moment.